Hey everybody, it's Steven GetMoneyMyrick here. Today I'm going to be talking about the upcoming event within Untitled Heroes, the Spring Garden Party. I'm also going to be talking about some of the recent changes that were announced, including enable presets. So we'll be jumping right into that. But before I do, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I'm getting extremely close to 1,000 subscribers right now. We're almost there. So if you look down, it's at 999. You could be my 1,000th subscriber. I'd really appreciate it. I also wanted to give a big thank you to Relic on the Idle Heroes subreddit. He's the one that put all these images together for us, as well as the general Idle Heroes Discord channel. Makes it a lot easier to know what's going on within the event. So thank you to both of those sources. But jumping into the Spring Garden Party, you can see that it's going to require you to get two different types of flowers, hyacinths and tulips. And there are certain ways to get those. So what they're basically trying to do is concentrate on forest heroes. This event is really based around forest. If you're not aware, springtime, forest, green, put it all together, right? And so they have a Pokédex event, lighting up 5-star, 6-star, 10-star avatars from the forest faction. So if you're doing a good job about trying to get all your forest heroes cleared out, hopefully you'll get paid off. And you can see they're giving us spirit and gold, which are two extremely valuable resources actually right now. But they are also trying to encourage us to use our profit orbs. And it's pretty interesting because if you see, what it'll allow you to do is that we can get these hyacinths from the Imps Adventure, but we can get tulips from the Spring Assembly. So the Spring Assembly is going to kind of encourage us to spend our profit orbs. The hyacinths are going to be from doing Imps Adventure, and then you can see there's also the Spring Gift Packs, which presumably are going to cost money. But if you do this, both of those, you'll get flowers, and you can use those 20 flowers to get a random 5-star from a forest faction. And you can also see that if you get enough, there's actually a pay-to-win artifact. So my assumption is going to be if you do X amount of orbs and spend some money, you'll be able to get a pay-to-win artifact for this event. So a lot of people are calling this event a bait. It's a bait specifically because DH Games is trying to get us to spend our profit orbs during events which are not profit orb events. Usually people have been holding on to them. And recently, with the changes they made to the events where you can do 8 loops now, you're really encouraged if there's a super powerful hero to save up for 8 loops and get that really powerful hero and get 8 copies of them. Or you're encouraged to save them for pay-to-win artifact events. And so a lot of people have a lot of extra orbs laying around, and I think they kind of know that, and so they're kind of trying to bait us into spending those profit orbs. So what you're going to have to do when this event drops is look at how many orbs am I going to have to spend and how much money am I going to have to spend in order to get this pay-to-win artifact. And it's possible it could end up being a pretty good deal overall, but you're really going to have to make that decision, and we'll have to make it together once we figure out what all it takes. My gut is, though, that it's bait and that you should still be saving your profit orbs for either a more powerful hero or for a pay-to-win artifact event. I did want to briefly show my hero bag in Forest so we can see what I filled out. You can see somehow I'm missing Vesa and Starlight, which are like beginner heroes, especially since I've been playing for 3 years, but somehow never ended up building them. I'm also missing Edgar, and finally I'm missing Flora, and I don't believe I'm really close to having copies of any of those, getting them done. So if those are required, I'm in trouble. I do have a 6-star Flora, I think. Yeah, I got a 6-star Flora. But other than that, they're just not going to happen, honestly. And that's the way it is. But I've been doing a good job. I've been trying to do a good job at the Pokédex, honestly. So hopefully we'll be fine. Okay, so honestly, we've got the boring stuff out of the way now because obviously I don't know exactly what's going to be required in the upcoming event. But what I do know is that they have enabled presets. So we've got an image right here, and you can see it looks like we're going to have 3 different presets we can save for our enables. Specifically, this is going to be super helpful on your heroes where you can go in and set up a PvP enable system or a PvE enable system. I can't tell enough from the characters to know if we have the ability to name them ourselves. It would be super sweet if you're able to go in and say, this is PvP, this is PvE, or this is my Void Lord, this is my Void Vortex, right? This is my Realmscape enables, and you could just like bounce between them and it'll automatically save them. I don't know if we're going to be able to customize the names. My gut is no, just because we haven't had that functionality really in any other aspect of Idle Heroes so far, but that would be super sweet. The other big question is we don't know whether or not it requires gems to unlock these presets. Hopefully it doesn't. They do have a history with stones. If you want to have more than 1 stone, that you have to pay gems to unlock extra slots. Hopefully they really don't go down that route. That would be a giant drop of the bag on this. I realize that a lot of people would pay for them, but honestly, you can still go through and manually change them whenever you want. It's just a hassle. So this should be a convenience thing to make players happy. Hopefully it's nice and easy. And the other thing that this gets me really excited about, honestly, is gear presets, because I've talked about how difficult gear presets are in the past, and this is a very clear road towards gear presets. Specifically, this functionality of having a button to switch back and forth with gear presets. You know, I played Diablo 3, and you're able to go into your chest and you're able to save, or your wardrobe, and you're able to save like the gear that you have, and you can have multiple different gear slots, and you can just go through and select them. So similar to this, you could have like 3 different gear slots that would just automatically equip your heroes. And the functionality could work that if you have heroes that are already using the gear that's in that preset, it just doesn't put anything on it. So when you push that button, if you see any blank things, then you know you have a problem and you have to go clean it up. But you know, it'd be just very nice to have that ability to push a button and get gear presets. So I'm hoping this is going down the road of getting gear presets, and I'm hoping that they aren't going to be charging us gems for these enable presets. The other thing that they announced is Transcendence Hero Replacement. They've announced that it was going to be coming for a while, but they've actually rolled out exactly how it's going to work. And you can see that specifically it's going to cost 10 crystals in order to do that. So while it typically costs 5 in order to swap a hero or regress a hero, here it's going to be costing 10. And they give an example that like an E5 Swordflash Xia plus a copy of Queen plus 10 of these crystals will give you an E5 Xia and a copy of Scarlet Queen Halora. So specifically, if you had a E5 Queen, I believe, and you do this, you will end up with an E5 Halora. If you give it a 5-star Queen, you'll end up with an E5 Xia and a 5-star Halora. So the cool thing is the stone is kept on the original hero, which means that you'll keep the stone for Xia in this example, the E5 Xia, which means that you could eventually, if you want to, swap her into a different fortress hero. Obviously, it would be ideal if you could, in my opinion at least, if you could keep all the dust and stuff on the new Transcendence hero, but instead you're going to have to level up that Transcendence hero, get them a new stone, and then you'll have, you know, that high level stone on Xia. So not quite as, you know, perfect as I was hoping for. Ideally, you would keep all the resources that you put into it, but it's nice that you don't, you know, lose everything. It's just that it requires you to change Xia out and use more crystals at that point. But honestly, having the functionality to replace Transcendence hero is a good start. It's pretty disappointing that it's 10 crystals instead of 5 crystals, especially as you consider as the game goes on, there's going to be more and more Transcendence heroes. So the need to replace them and get the new ones is going to be continue to be higher. But it's nice that they're rolling that out there for everybody and explaining how it works. So that's all I have in this video. Obviously, as we figure out more about the Spring Garden Party, I'll make sure to update and make another video about whether or not I think it's worth spending your profit orbs on this event. Definitely, you know, work on that Pokédex like always. It's just something you can be doing in the background. Make sure you're filling it out. You know, don't blow your bag and use a lot of Force Heroes right away. But honestly, what's the most exciting thing is those enabled presets and hopefully going down that road of getting more gear presets. Hopefully DH Games doesn't screw this up and the enabled presets are free. If they're not free, I would highly recommend, you know, messaging customer support within the game and saying that you're extremely disappointed. I don't think they're going to make this mistake and screw it over and screw us over. I think they're just going to be free and it'll be a great convenience thing. And then hopefully it's going down that road towards getting gear presets. But that's all I have in this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.